Is that a toy poodle?
He hasn't met his cousin yet, Olivia.
I want a toy poodle.
Everything. He's mama's love bunny.
They're the cutest.
Olivia.
Yes.
You haven't met your nephew yet.
I have not. I need to meet him.
Big now.
I need to meet him for real. Thank you for the love, baby.
Well, she's coming over tomorrow, so she'll see him. She'll see him.
Yes, I'll see him. Oh my goodness. Look at that baby. Look at the baby.
It's impossible. Come here.
Oh, damn.
Oh my God. Look at that baby. Oh, look at that baby.
He's heavy. I gotta put him down. Okay, love you.
I know, that's why I be so heavy sometimes.
Girl, bye, girl.
6 pounds. That's a lot. That's a workout, honey.
That dog is not heavy. All right, so what's going on, world? Thank you guys for tuning into aconnectiontv.com and A Connection TV here on YouTube, the two places on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And welcome to episode 3 of Culture Club ATL live here on YouTube. We have quite a few topics to discuss. And on today's little panel, I have 6 of us. It's myself. We have Miss Olivia, the boisterous lady in charge.
Why you guys say so?
You said what?
You said boisterous. Why you gotta say it twice though?
I said boisterous and boisterous. Creating my own words. Then we have Martell Star, because he is a star.
What's good?
We have Benjamin the Outspoken.
What's up, y'all?
We have Ryan Marcus, leading man in the Mister, and he does a lot of stuff.
Hey.
And we have my special partner, Mr. Victor Alexander.
What's up,
We're
baby?
going to cover quite a few things today. And the first topic that I want to discuss, if you guys care or not, I don't know. But this week, we had 4 leading ladies at the top 2 spots of the Hot 100. Doja Cat was her first #1. Nicki Minaj was her first #1 in the top 100. And Beyonce and Meg Thee Stallion was on #2 for its Savage remix. First of all, do we like any of these songs?
We do.
Yes, we do.
Okay, Martell. I think Martell is a barb.
No, absolutely. No. Let me clarify. let me clarify. I am very much a fan of Nicki Minaj. I think she's an artist. She's an excellent rapper. Like no shade. Like she is top tier. Like top 5 to me. But I wouldn't consider myself a barb. As far as just that fan base, I know they can be a little much. I think they're probably all great people. I encourage all the barbs to keep barbing. I wouldn't personally classify myself as a barb.
Okay. So are you, what are the Doja Cats? Are you a kitten? Are you a beehive? Are you a horse? What I don't know.
I for sure, I'm not, I wouldn't, again, I feel like those type of like stan groups, like once you consider like yourself that, it becomes kind of cultish. They get really, I am an avid Beyonce fan though. Again, I would never fight someone over Beyonce. I'm not gonna put that much energy into it. I will, however, say I'm a hottie for sure. I'm a hot boy for life. Like,
okay,
I am a hot boy.
So your knees work.
If it's time to go out, I pray to Megan. Like, girl, protect my knees. Keep
not pray to Megan.
I'm about to
he's
turn it
a
up.
hot boy for Megan, so he's saying he's a hottie. So Megan got them hot girl summer, so he's saying he's a hot boy.
Hot boy summer.
Anybody else? Ryan, Ben, Vic, who y'all loving?
I like Megan. She make good music where you can just like kind of be drunk and flow and the lyrics. Like it's nice to have a vibe like that. It's nice to have a vibe like that.
Okay.
I like Megan too. I'm not. I don't have any stands. I'm not a beehive or Navy or Barb or none of that. I just like everybody, but I do like Megan. I think she's doing her damn thing in the industry and in her business right now. She is the hottest rapper out right now, and I like it.
Okay, now we need Olivia and Vic. Say a little something.
Okay, so For me, I love anybody who's able to be themselves and be creative and come up with their own thing. So I think it's like really awesome that Megan is allowing herself to be who she is and do her own thing. And then for Beyonce to come in on the back end and rock with her and create that, even though I heard some, shady stuff that was going on behind the scenes. But nonetheless, the fact that that collaboration happened is huge. And I'm just happy to see people living their truths, their dreams, and like hitting the charts. Even though I thought Nicki already had number one, I always thought she was like always at number one. But
she should have been.
Yeah, that's what I felt.
She's charted number one in every Billboard except Top 100.
Okay.
So this is the first time and she's the only artist to chart in every Billboard now, because she finally made Top 100. And she's missing the country charts, but other than that, she's on every Billboard. So she's the first and only artist to accomplish that. But this is her first Top 100. Olivia, you're kind of mute over there. You don't like any of the ladies?
All these Black women doing their thing.
Amen. Good answer.
So
I love the Savage remix song. I do. I love the original song. I like Meg Thee Stallion. I don't know that I would jump up and run and go buy a whole album just because that's not my scene. I like some of the hits that she has thrown out, and I don't know if I like it because I really like it or I like it because I've heard it so many times that it's become like
ingrained
the thing to do. Like now I'm liking it because I'm used to it. I don't know. I do like the Savage remix. I do love Beyonce's take. I love what Jay did in her writing skills. I love it. I love how he was able to give her everything that was needed to be said from a Black woman's perspective. If she wrote it, I would be surprised. I really felt like Jay wrote that, no shade, but if she wrote it, like kudos to her on that. I don't know Doja Cat. I don't like the song. I don't like it, but I'm proud that that it's charted and it's number one. I love Nicki Minaj. I'm not a Barb, I'm not a stan, but I actually go out and purchase her albums. So out of all four people, I purchased Beyonce albums, I purchased Nicki Minaj albums. I got a problem with Nicki Minaj as of late because she feels too industry to me. I feel like she's disconnected. I love Meg because I love her personality. So I'd probably buy her album just off of personality alone. Like she just seems down to earth, relatable, real. I feel like we could get to know each other. I feel like she's my homegirl. I feel like she's my good girlfriend. And I feel more connected to her than I do a Cardi B, which is crazy because I'm not from Houston. Like Cardi is from New York. I'm from New York. So you would think that we would vibe. I vibe with Meg Thee Stallion. Like I love every post she puts on Instagram. She is whoever. If it's not her, then her PR person is the smartest person in the universe because they know how to target appropriately that she doesn't lose anybody. Old people, young people, everybody's feeling her. So
do we all consider Doja Cat to be a part of the Black family?
Who?
Doja Cat.
Doja Cat.
I mean, if you drop Black blood in you, you Black. So we'll take her.
Yeah, I don't know her national background, but Black girl.
Her father's African.
Right.
Oh, she Black.
Okay. I just want to see what y'all say because a lot of people out there. Oh, she ain't Black. Oh, she ain't Black. So.
No, she Black. She definitely Black.
Drop a Black blood in her. We'll take her.
Yeah.
I'll let her say the N word.
Black, take her.
You said you'll let her say the N word.
Mm-hmm.
She can do that. I would.
Would you let Cardi B say the N word?
I would not.
Black.
Is she?
Yes, her mother's Trinidadian. She's Black.
Oh.
She was Hispanic. I thought she was Hispanic.
Yes, she is.
She said it anyways.
Black.
So she's like she's Afro-Latina.
Yes.
Okay.
She's Black. She's Dominican and she's Black.
Oh, she's Puerto Rican.
I mean, well, good. I just didn't know that. I mean, she gonna do it anyway. She say it anyway. So
right.
I just personally didn't know that.
Well, she married to a Black man, so she
can marry the whole nigga.
That's no. That's not how it works.
She is Black. Let's not discount the fact that she herself is Black.
Yeah. So yeah, she Black. She can say it.
Okay.
All right. that is good to know she can say it because she already been saying it. So
Right.
Right, that part,
retroactive pay at this point.
that entire part.
Right.
Before we move on to the next topic, how do y'all feel about anybody using the N-word?
I
we
love
do
the N-word.
it. Come on, friend.
Well, no, we're not doing it again, but we got some fresh faces on here and I want to know.
No, friend. No. No, friend. That's like about gays in the church. I'm done now.
You said that's like talking about gays in the church?
Yeah, I'm dope. We beat this conversation to death.
We beat
Directors.
So we've been dealing with a lot. Well, I know I've been dealing with a lot on my end with this pandemic and everything like that. And I haven't been really able to find much on TV besides Netflix. And I've been wondering with you guys, what Black sitcoms do you miss the most? And what Black sitcom do you wish was back on television today?
We are living.
Hey,
Look,
Bingo.
And none
Looking
of
like nah. You
they
said
all
wait,
their appropriate course.
really?
Yes.
You know what I've been watching the reruns of a lot lately? Family Matters.
Nope.
that's
That
just
ran
on all the time.
I
Once
think
they
that
started doing the Urkel with the Urkel.
Right. I mean, that show is very, very funny though. Like,
And I could tell you how it ran its course and it got dumb and it was rightfully over.
I mean, even still now watching this adult, that show is like very, very fun. I was just watching a little while ago. Like you should actually watch the reruns of. You'll still be cracking up like it's a brand new show. So I mean,
Sure. And that's why they made those episodes. They don't need to continue.
Yeah, I didn't like Family Matters. My best friend, he been watching on Netflix and he loved it. But like Family Matters never moved me. I do agree. I feel like a lot of shows have run their course. I'm tired of seeing reboots because there are so many. Like go to aconnectiontv.com or watch ACTV. They can find so many new shows full of
that part. Shameless love for my friend.
Okay, but in that
watch the
like, okay.
Come on with the mister. But I do wish that what my all-time favorite show is Martin Lawrence show. I would watch that in a heartbeat.
They ran that into the ground, and then when Gina left, and then they was having beef, and they couldn't even record together. They ran that show into the ground, honey. I'm over it now.
I concur.
Ben, what do you like better? What do you think is best for an adult in today's society? A mortgage or rent?
I would say a mortgage, only because that's something that you're paying into. Now, I don't have a mortgage. I'm paying rent right now, so I don't know what it's like on the other side. I'm just assuming if you're putting down that money for something that you'll own one day is better than just renting and continuously throwing your money out.
Okay. Martel?
I think we've been ingrained that like the American dream is that everyone wants to own a home, everyone wants to like, and everyone doesn't. Like I think some people love the flexibility that I can live here this year, next year I can go live somewhere else. I can just move and hop around versus I have a mortgage. I own this house. I'm dedicated to paying this for the next 10 to 30 years, depending on what your thing is like. I know me personally, I would love to own a home. And I think from what I see, a lot of times it seems almost like a mortgage is cheaper. I guess just that payment of a mortgage versus rent. When you think about other things that go into home ownership, then yes, of course, it may be a little more expensive. I love the idea of owning a home for me personally, but I do also see why someone would just prefer just to rent, where they have the flexibility where I want to live in this city for 2 years, I want to live in that city for 4 years, I want to be able to get up and move.
All right, Mr. Ryan Marcus.
I would say mortgage if you're financially stable and that place where you can actually go for a mortgage. Like Martel said, mortgages can sometimes be cheaper than rent. Before I moved into my house right now, I do pay a mortgage. I was about to pay about $1,000 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment, and now I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house for just about a little bit more than I would have been paying for that same rent. So if you're able to get that mortgage and actually buy a house, I would say do it. Nobody says you have to stay there. You can rent it out. It can be an investment property and you can still get that mortgage paid. You can still move around, but I mean, it is a good investment to have.
All right, Miss Olivia, I see all kinds of
Yeah,
facial
right.
expressions. You real animated on that end, Miss Olivia. What's going
It
on?
depends. It depends. It depends. It depends. There's so many variables. As a homeowner, I'm a homeowner of multiple properties. I also rent. Clearly, you know that. I rent my apartment I live in right now. Yeah. In November, it ain't hot to be a homeowner when I gotta pay all them taxes.
Right.
When I have to fix, like, so sometimes though my monthly payment can be lower than my rent, it doesn't necessarily always add up that way. If you purchase in certain places and you are smart about your purchase, then yes, your place can, increase in value. But there's a lot of places that people buy houses and their houses depreciate. Right now, anybody who bought their house in the last 30 days, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because the value of your home is going to depreciate. Right now, the value of your home will depreciate. And we hope that with this pandemic that you'll not be upside down, because the housing market is dropping. We're in like negative numbers. So I'm sorry. I'm saying that for like legit. Like if you bought your house in the last 30 days, or if you bought your house and you bought it at market price in the last year, I apologize.
Okay, Mr. Vic.
Olivia, I loved everything that you said. That was very insightful, for damn sure. For me, I'm a person that I like to get something, fix it, build on it, add on it, do all that stuff. That's me. That's who I am as an individual across the board. So, doing that for somebody else's property and just throwing the money in there and they say, oh, I'm gonna put it back the way it was when I got there. That's just silliness. So that's why, for me, on top of the potential for having the revenue source and renting out and being able to get a profit out of it and all that stuff, I'm always more of a leaning towards a buying versus renting thing.
But that's on where you bought it, how much you bought it for, like all of the variables.
Absolutely.
Because to be very honest, right now, if I wanted to move across the street, which she is contemplating, because now the rental market has dropped as well, because a whole people are just up and just leaving. So if I wanted to go across the street in my same neighborhood, I would be paying $300 less than what I'm currently paying.
That's beautiful.
I can't do that with a mortgage, boo. Like my mortgage payment is my mortgage payment.
Right. Absolutely.
Period.
And then my value of my home is now depreciating. So I might owe $100,000. Like if we use rough figures, I might owe $100,000 on my house. But now, because of the market, my house might only be worth $70,000. But my payment is still for $100,000.
Right. Absolutely. That's what you got to sit in there for the long game, and not to be hopping around and whatnot. But all I know is like for me, my background has always been. My parents bought the house for $55,000, and now it's worth $250,000. They sat on it; they owe a specific amount left on it, and they've done so much stuff to the house that it's just increased the value. And then the area that they bought in an area that they knew was growing. So that's the background that I know. But I know that for every individual person, everybody has to be making the specific decisions and things that work best for them, rather than just going off of what everybody in the world says that you should do. What works best for you? You know what I'm saying? And what are you able to do? Are you going to have to pay a whole bunch of people to make your property value more? In 10 years, you're going to have to pay everybody else to do the work, or are you going to be able to do the work yourself? Are you going to pull up a YouTube video and do a DIY, or are you going to call a contractor and pay his premium and then pay all the material and then pay? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought process.
Okay, I like this topic. We talk about some different shit. I like this.
Because
up shit.
You said what now?
Can we cuss?
The thing is a lot of times people buy houses, because I am a licensed real estate agent. So people buy houses because
we didn't know that, Olivia. My bad. My bad. Sorry, I didn't know.
Yes, I told my friend the other day. But anyway, so a lot of times people buy houses because the blinds are pretty.
Right.
Or they buy houses for the look and they don't realize that, you know, they didn't do the proper due diligence to figure out the foundation of the house and where the house is located. And so they'll spend, you know, $400,000 and $500,000 on a house that's really kind of, in the real grand scheme of things, only really worth $225,000 or $250,000 when it's all said and done. So now we're not talking about being in New York City. We're not talking about being in Miami, because that becomes a totally different ballgame, or California for that matter. We're talking about like Atlanta, where hell to the no. It has to be in the particular place, and the price has to be right for me to sit there and consider another mortgage, because yes, I can rent it out, but now I got to deal with somebody fucking my house up.
Right.
And I love the convenience of renting. Do you know why? Because anytime something goes broke, I don't have to work. I call the people like, this broke, fix it tomorrow.
Fix it.
Let's go.
Well, let's go to these comments real quick to see what everybody is saying. We have MH saying that rent is key, but there needs to be a limit to the increase. And that's the thing with renting, you can't determine what your rent is going to be on an annual basis. It's whatever they want.
Yes, you can. Yes,
what
you
do you
can.
mean? Go ahead, explain.
Oh, the act of negotiation. If you're paying your rent every month on time, and I don't know what state you're living in, I can only talk about Georgia, New York, Miami, Tampa. That's it. That's my wealth of knowledge of where I'm 1,000% sure. You can negotiate. First of all, they can't go up more than 5%. And talk them down. And if you're paying your rent on time, you don't cause any issues, you're not giving them a reason to want to push you out. First of all, it costs a landlord too much money. As a landlord, I'm going to tell you, it costs me so much money to get rid of you and to find somebody else. So I don't want to do it. I want you to stay there. Do I want you to pay more because probably my taxes are more? Probably I initially lowballed you because I needed to get somebody in, and now I want to put you to market. Absolutely. But I'm not trying to get rich quick. I'm trying for you to not fuck my house up. And I want you to pay something that's reasonable so that I can make some semblance of a profit and keep my investment.
And that's it. Like I rent from an apartment complex now. Even how I got in here, like no shit. Like my rate, like I negotiated my rate at my place now, because it was like they need people to get in here. Like, well, look, I can move in this weekend. Quite honestly, let's talk about this price real quick. And like my price was down $100 from what they wanted. Like just small things though. And I'm a good tenant. I can't wait till my lease runs up in October, where they're like, oh, our price is going up, and it's like, okay, well, baby, I'm staying, and it's not.
My rent has not increased, and I've been here for about 4 years now. Because you also have to take, if you care enough, now this is the work that you have to do. If you don't want to pay the money, you got to do the work. I will sit there and I'll write down every incident, every issue, every problem that I've had. And then when you want to ask me about increases, here goes the list.
Let's talk about this.
Like, so on this and this date at this and this time, these things happen, and it didn't get corrected until such and such time. I've written such and such emails, and it still wasn't addressed. So this is another reason why my rent should not go. Like you just write everything. Now that's work though.
Okay. All right. I like the information that's spread, Miss Realtor. How can people get in contact with you so they can discuss these things?
Contact you.
Leave a note in the comment, we'll reach out. Thanks.
Right. Okay, so moving on. Relationships over friendships.
Whew.
What is more important to you, Benjamin?
Brother, I believe that friendship is the best out of both, because especially like in today's society, when it comes to relationships, unless you're like really willing to put up with a whole lot of stuff, and it's not just about the vanity of being in a relationship, then you're just doing it for the wrong reasons. When it comes to friendship, find somebody that, and it takes time. You can't just meet somebody and y'all be friends like that. It takes time. It takes bonding. It takes like the the lessening of like the walls, so you can like be intimate with one another and, you know, just be human with each other. So I value friendship more and sometimes friendships turn into relationships. So if you got that foundation, then you should be good. You know, you won't have your shit, but you should have the foundation. So I value friendship. That's my shit.
Okay, all right. So Ryan Marcus.
Do me last.
Mr. Martell Starr.
You know, so I've technically been single for like 5 years. So I guess on the baseline of things, I feel like friendships are first. Like my friends are gonna be my friends no matter what. So my relationship can go downhill, and my friends are still gonna be there. But at the same time, like my relationship should be well standing as well. And my relationship should be my friend. Like we should have a friendship where it's not just we ain't gotta just hug and kiss. Like you should be like my friend. We can hang out. We can just do friend stuff. We can just be close and per se without having to necessarily be all relationship-y. So there should be a balance of two. But I guess just the base of the question, like friendships are super important to me. Like I have two people I call my best friends, and like I would kill, steal, and destroy for them. To this very moment, like my best friend called me right now, like, oh, I gotta go. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and exit out this video chat out of Culture Club because I gotta take care of my friend real quick.
Is that something that has to be established mutually? That importance of friendship, or even that label of friendship, does that person have to call you a best friend and you have to call that person a best friend, or is that solely how you feel for that person?
For me, I know those are mutual feelings. I know as much as I would do for my best friends, they would do for me. And I know that's why I am willing. So not that I'm only doing something for them because I know they would or whatever, but I know I'm willing to do these things for these people, and these people are willing to do whatever for me as well. So it definitely has to be, I guess it's mutual. Like we both are aware of our friendship status.
Okay, Mr. Vic, how do you feel?
You know, I believe that in a good relationship, your friendship should still be able to thrive. You should never have to, it should never be you either be friends with these people or not friends with these people to be in a relationship with me. And not saying that that's what the question was, but I find that like in a healthy relationship, if you shouldn't have to pick one or the other. And let me know if I'm not processing the question correctly, but I honestly think that like between you and I, Wes, like you have your friends, I have my friends. I said, hey, we're going to hang out with this person and we're going to go do this. You want to come? You know what I'm saying? There's no, oh, well, you can't hang out with this person. I can't hang out with that person. It's like, okay, that's something that makes you happy. That's somebody who's been in your world. That's somebody who's been in your life and you love them. So cool. Glad that they're there. You know what I'm saying? So that's my personal vibe. And if somebody is in your life and in your world, you should want them to be happy. So if there's an individual or friends that they have or set up for them, you should want them to hang out with them. My personal opinion. Was I right on point with that? Or
I mean, it's not a matter of being on point, but that's your answer for the question. I would say that if I had to decide which was more important, I would give them an equal fair shot. The reason being is because all relationships with another person are extremely difficult and great in their own right. Every relationship and or friendship is different, so they can't be compared all the time. And so, for example, you might have a friendship that, I have a friend that I will call my best friend because I've known her for 27 years, so freaking long, that she knows practically everything about me. I know practically everything about her. There's no way that I would decide to just give that friendship up for a relationship, nor should I be told that I would have to do something like that. So it's very difficult for me to say one's more important than the other because there's different love language, there's different love period, and there's history and there's history. So they both, you know what I'm saying? They're both tangible. But I do find that, not necessarily speaking for the LGBT side of things, but just in life in general, I do find that a lot of individuals are like, well, if you don't like my friend, then we can't be in a relationship and I'm going to choose my friend over you, or whatever the case may be. And so that's why I kind of like wanted to have this dialogue and bring up this conversation, because there are moments in time where people feel like they do have to choose, or they are made to choose between a relationship and a friendship. And that's why I wanted to have this dialogue. I feel like if there's anybody out there right now watching in the comments, as I check, if you are in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or an actual relationship, you should not be made to choose between the two. And I think it'll be a healthier situation if everybody can coexist and get along for the betterment of you, being the bridge between the two relationships. Miss Olivia, same question.
I have challenge. Well, you personally know I have challenges in this space. I have not been the best friend that I could be to a lot of my friendships in this last year.
But is there a level of importance higher than the other? So
no,
okay.
There isn't. So for me, it's different. So for me, no, it is. All of my relationships are important.
Okay.
But my relationships, like when I call you my friend, like that is a title that is like extremely like sensitive and touchy for me, right? So, bringing our relationship into it, right? Like I received so much backlash in my personal relationships, my friendships, when I started dating who I'm dating. So in an effort to not lose anymore, just to kind of like, when you got beat up enough, you just kind of just go into a corner and you just don't listen to anything. That's kind of what I did. So I excommunicated a lot of my friendships that they didn't even say anything. Like they didn't say anything was good, bad, or indifferent. I just let them go because I just was in fear that they would not want to be friends with me anymore. And it seems so simple that we can all say, well, then maybe they're not your friends or they're not your. It's simple to say that, but when you've had relationship with these people for years, it's quite a different kind of feeling when it's like a divorce, like so all of my friendships are important. If I invest in you, you are just as important as a romantic relationship for me. So if we decide we're no longer going to be friendly, that is like a divorce, like a breakup. Like it's a big deal. Kind of like how if y'all watch Insecure, like a lot of people were shading and having an issue with Molly. And I am of the very, 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 very small, unpopular opinion to say like they're both toxic as fuck in this moment to each other. And we're looking at everything from Issa D's point of view, and we're not seeing the totality of it, because Issa was doing some fucked up shits in season 1 to Molly, and you're just gonna take this one episode and look at how Molly was acting a whole plum fool and just say Molly is the worst. No, they both the worst. They both did bad. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I'm watching it and I'm up to date on episodes. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, quite frankly, I don't know what the hell is their problem. I really don't. They just need to sit down and have a conversation, whatever the issue is, because I really don't see the issue. But this last episode, I feel like Molly was straight out of pocket, because
Molly did some straight out of pocket shit at the end, but they both were doing stuff from episode 1 to now. They both were doing. They should have had a conversation at Thanksgiving, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's all about lack of communication. I really believe, because it's not like Issa messed with the boy she talking to and didn't tell her, or Molly got Issa fired from a job or something like that. It's all a miscommunication, and they're wanting a certain level of affection from their friend, and they're not knowing how to give it to each other, and they're not knowing how to communicate that that's what they want. That's really their problem, and that's some like woman stuff. I just don't understand that.
Don't do that.
Pause. So first of all, I'm not even going to address that because that seems so extra. What I will say is, what a lot of people missed in this conversation, in this last episode, and they're all like, they're only seeing that last time when Molly, I am agreeing, Molly was out of pocket, doing that at the event, bringing up the whole, why did you go behind my back? Yes, Molly was wrong for that. Let's backtrack to in the earlier part of that same episode. Issa's in a jam and she calls Molly and she doesn't even want to listen to Molly's issue. Like Molly is in her own pain position and she doesn't even give Molly a second to tell her, this is what I'm going through too. She's just like, okay. I need a headliner. That's not okay. That's not how you treat your friend, because Molly needed an ear at that moment. It wasn't that, I mean, and honestly, you know, we're not going to give Molly all the grace because of that, but we are going to say they're equally responsible for the fails of this relationship.
I could agree that on both sides, communication is failing, but in an instant, right in that instant where you feel like your friend is showing some level of neglect, you need to open your mouth and speak up. Molly had every opportunity to like say, hold up, wait 1 second now. I know you might be busy, but I need to talk to you about this. And vice versa. Like they both had the opportunity to do that and they're just opting not to do that. I just don't understand that. Real quick before we get into Ryan Marcus, because we're not gonna let you go without answering this, Ryan Marcus. We have Lamar Hines says, we do not like Molly, but they are both toxic. Issa should have rocked Molly. Okay, Lamar. The Truth 77 says Molly is everything in one. Communication is key. MH says someone else said this, but friends are like fam. There's a different grace that you give friends. I don't know.
There's a different grace that you give friends. You give friends grace more than you would give, you know, the person sitting, your associate. You're gonna give your friend, like I'm gonna give my friend more grace and be like, all right, you ain't mean it. But there's a point where my patience has run all the way the fuck thin.
My tank is
okay. The True 77 says, yeah, sometimes friends go harder than family. MH says, well, women often communicate differently. Okay.
What you supposed to mean by that? Who said that? Who said that?
MH said, well, women often communicate differently. So I don't know what he means.
What you mean by that? Explain.
And then the Truth 77 says they do go through more changes than males. Oh,
whoa. Who?
Women. The Truth 77. So Ryan Marcus, what's going on, sir? What's more?
She let it go once.
Sorry, I'm gonna let you speak, but I'm gonna Kanye this shit. Hold the fuck up.
What?
So let me let y'all know that it's not my fault that as a woman, I am more emotionally intelligent than most of the people I come into contact with, including men. So don't come for me if that's what you was trying to say. So yeah, we're gonna discuss things differently because I want you to be your authentic self, good, bad, or indifferent. And we're gonna talk through this and suss it out. And we're gonna get to a place of resolution, good, bad, or indifferent. Either we're gonna walk away as not friends, or we're gonna walk away as friends, or we're gonna walk away with a different kind of relationship. So if that's what you were saying as far as women are different, I agree with you.
Ryan Marcus, do you see a difference in levels of importance between a relationship or friendship?
I believe that they should be equal. And they should respect each other. Your friend should respect your relationship should respect your friend. For most cases, not every case, but for most cases, that friendship is going to be there before the relationship starts. And then also, once you get in that relationship, you're probably going to be going to that friendship to tell about the relationship. And that's also something you got to be wary about, because a lot of people, they don't say much about the good, but they will say a lot about the bad in the relationship to your best friend. And that puts a bad picture of your relationship in your friend's head a lot of the times, because that's all you're telling them. That's all they really know. So they should respect each other, and you should also respect each of your relationships between your friends. You should like let your best friend know what's going on in the relationship, the good stuff and the bad stuff, and let your relationship know what's going on with your friendship, the good stuff and the bad stuff. So there's no any type of animosity between them when it all boils down to it, because I mean, they're both important. They're both going to be a part of your life, and they're going to have to come together at some point in time. We don't want any side eyes coming from your significant other going to your best friend, or vice versa. So they all have to be, they're both important, and they should be treated equally as important, in my opinion.
I would add to that is you got to be careful with what you say and who you say it to. You got to know, you got to know these people well enough, because like you said, painting a bad picture of your relationship or painting a bad picture of your friend is not going to do good on any side. Right. Because now if I go to Vic and I'm like, oh my God, this person did this, which he has done in the past, Vic will not like this person anymore, and Vic will write this person off. And if I change my mind now and I done made up with this person, now Vic has to figure out a way to like this person again, because this person done affected me in a negative way. So it's very important that you be careful with what you say and how you disclose it, because you could be painting a negative picture of said person. How often do you?
In both ways, because
both ways.
I'm a proponent of giving someone just the positive, like giving everyone the positives. Oh, this person is great, but not necessarily telling the whole truth of like what's going on.
Right.
And when it hits the fan, like everybody's like, but I thought they were great.
Wasn't it so happy?
Right. Or if you do tell your friend, like if you tell your friend, he's beating me, your friend is going to tell you to leave that relationship, and you're not going to leave that relationship, and you're going to look stupid to your friend, and now your friend's not going to like the boyfriend or the girlfriend or whatever the case may be, just inviting drama. Martell, do you need to talk to your friend every day? And if not, how often do you need to talk to your friend? What's the rule?
So are we saying like our friends, like just our actual friends, or like
your friend? You call a friend your friend, not your associate.
So we don't need to talk every day. Like me and my best friend, we do pretty much talk every day. It may not be all day every day, but it's just a quick little touch base. Like if nothing else, like if I didn't hear from him, like I wouldn't think it odd. But then like the next morning, I should, hey, what's going on, bro? Like just a simple, just small things. So yeah, I don't need to talk to you every day, all day every day, but just a little checkpoint. Hey, I'm still alive. Okay, good.
Well, I can admit that, back in my day, which is not that long ago, because I'm a Leo, so Leos are all over the spectrum when it comes to emotions sometimes. But back in my day, I used to be I used to not like not being not thought of, but spoken to, like not speaking to my friends. I used to hate it. It used to piss me off, because I used to be like, I would go like a month go by, don't hear from them. 2 months go by, don't hear from them. 3 months go by, don't hear from them. Then I send a text, don't get a response.
Oh, y'all.
Then they'll call me like sometime later or whatever the case may be. And I just be all up in my emotions, all up in my psyche about the problematics of it all. But then I had to realize for me that everybody has something going on in their world. Everybody has a life. And although you may particularly have the time to hit that person up, they may not have the time invested to hit you up just because you're hitting them up. And so for me, I had to decompress a little bit and be like, okay, don't take it all personal. It's going to be all right. If we didn't have a falling out, then there's a logical explanation for it, because, don't take it personal. So for me, I don't necessarily have to speak to my friend all the time, but what I don't like is being ignored. Like, I don't like texting you and your ass don't text me back. I'm never gonna like that. And I don't like calling you and your ass don't call me back. I don't like that. So I still have a problem with that per se, but speaking often, go ahead, Martell.
Let me just pop off that real quick, because I know, so I have friends from home who I don't talk to all the time. Like one of my older, we've been best friends since we were 10. So like, if I call her, she really calls me, and I've talked in months, we can pick up, and it's one of those things where cool. And I think that's also based on the level of friendship per person. Like I said, my best friend actually, he texts me. Like you better answer that question right, because we talk regularly. So I think it depends on the friendship. But also too, I've never experienced, like if I text somebody and then, like, again, I understand I'm available today, you may not be available right now. But there's no way I've texted you and you just must without responding. No, just text me back and just say, hey, right now I can't talk or something. Like, I wish I would text somebody else text me back for months. Because at that point, I'm not gonna text you no more. We're not friends. Period.
Mr. Benjamin, how you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't have to talk to you every day. Just let me know you all right. Let me shoot you a quick text. You get back to me, whatever. Everybody got stuff going on, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that we don't love each other. It's just everybody got stuff going on.
So you've never gotten in your bag if you've never heard from somebody. Mr. Benjamin, how you feel about that?
Well, no, because I'm usually the one that don't be calling motherfuckers back. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you that dude. Okay.
He's that friend.
Yeah, but I love him. I love him though. You know?
Okay. Sir Vic, you and your phone.
I'm ordering the pizza.
How do you feel?
Oh, man, you get mine with extra cheese.
All right, I'm down with it. I was trying to order some chicken wings. And anyway, we're going to. You know what? To be honest with you, like I love on a lot of people. I know a lot of people have a lot of things going on. I know people have issues. I know people have problems. And for me, it's all about respecting other people across the board, whether it's their time, whether it's their emotions, whether it's whatever it is. So it's like, you know, I may have a whole bunch of stuff going on and you message me about, hey, how's it going? And I'm like trying to get down my list and just respond to all this stuff. When I'm able to, hey man, you know, sorry, I'm just getting back to you. How are you? How's it going? When you're with the, you know, you don't have to necessarily talk to somebody every single day, but when you do talk to them, you need to be present and you need to be there. And it's like, you know, don't be distracted. Don't be in your phone. Don't be taking a bunch of other calls or this, that, and the other. If you're able to, find time for those people who you care about and let them know that they are important to you, even if you're busy and you don't have the ample amount of time to always be there for them. Now, on the flip side, different friends in your life are going to go through time periods where they're going to need you more. Sometimes they're not going to need you as much. So I may need to call my friend Brianna in Chicago and just run something by her because I know that I can trustfully vent to her about something that I'm thinking about or a process that's, you know, making me nervous. It's like, okay, well, I know I can reach out to Brianna. There's going to be nothing but positive energy. There's going to be nothing but encouragement. And where sometimes we can go for 3 months, well, you know this, sometimes we can go for 3 months and we don't talk to each other. But I know that I see her checking in on me on Instagram, watching a story, or she'll send me a text message and say, hey, I'm, you know, super busy, but I love you. You just crossed my mind. Those little things like that. Or it may be, hey, you know, Victor, I got this going on and I you know, this is the process. And so, okay, well, call me and give me your updates. Call me and give me your praise reports, or call me and give me your negatives. I'm your friend and I've been your friend for years. So I'm here for all of the moments when you need me.
Okay. Going to the comments. The True 77 responds to Miss Olivia. And True 77 says, Olivia, you are right.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Christopher Taylor says, haven't been in a relationship in over 10 years and finding I can count true friends on one hand. Okay. Shelly J, what's going on, Sheldon? What's going on? Shelly. They may mean that females are more open with feelings. Devontae says it's all about levels.
Female word.
I know
that was the last topic. They was talking about the last topic.
I know he was gonna say something about the word female. I knew it. Devontae says it's all about levels. I value all friendships, and when I'm in a relationship, it's valuable. However, each person gets the respect they give me individually. Okay. Max Data 19 says, exactly, Olivia, you better come through and read these children. The True 77 says, sound like someone was friends after the relationship. I believe all life forms are to be cherished. You have some friends that get closer just to destroy you. Got to be careful how you shop for friends. That goes for everyone. Okay. And then Shelly says, I feel like time management and emotional support is important in both friendships and relationships. Finding the balance is key. But at the end of the day, if things don't work out with your relationship, your friends are still going to be there. Sometimes
Can I chime in on something real quick?
Yes.
So I have I talk to like a whole bunch of people all the time about all the situations they have going on, and I have one really good friend who I know of the really good friend of his who's an associate of mine, and my one friend that I'm really cool with got in a relationship with somebody, and there's past history, there's awkwardness, there's frustration, and the boyfriend basically said, I really just don't want you hanging out with that person. So my friend tells his friend, hey, you know what? I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm really trying to make my relationship work. And based off of this, and this, specific things that happen in their situation that I don't want to go into, but based off of this, and this, I think that it's best that I just take some distance, but just know that I love you. And I'm just really trying to make my relationship work and make my situation work. But I have to back off. And my advice to him was, I'm like, you know what? Well, he has to understand what you're trying to do right now, and then maybe at a later time period, you guys can reconnect. And if to me, if you're really, really a good friend, now first off, you really shouldn't be put in that position in a relationship. But sometimes there are circumstances that just happen. I think that it's not necessarily the complete and total maturity, but if the true friendship is there, it doesn't matter how long that you don't talk to somebody. It's like, if you love me, you love me, no matter if I have to take a break from talking to you for a year or not. But you should never, I think a person should never be put in that position.
Ryan Marcus, how often do you need to speak to your friends?
I think it depends on the friend and the friendship, but honestly, not too often. Me and my best friend, Tony Bernard, I talk to that nigga maybe once or twice a month. But we see each other every once in a while. I mean, because he's a horrible texter. He's an absolutely horrible texter. If it's something important, I'll call him. If not, I'll text and I'll expect a reply in 2 to 3 business days. Otherwise, I'm just going to call him. But I mean, it depends on the friendship. Like I don't need to talk to my friends every day. We know each other are alive, and if we want to communicate, we'll come see each other. We'll talk to each other over the phone. Like even thinking back in high school, my best friend in high school, I haven't seen this dude in probably like 5 years. And before then, I probably had seen him another 5 years because he had moved to like Virginia, so he was out of state. But when he did come in town and we reconnected, it was like we had never lost connection. The bond was still there. And I mean, so it really all just depends on the friendship, what kind of friendship you guys got, what kind of understanding you have. Like, I understand my best friend, he's not good at texting. He doesn't answer phone calls sometimes, but I'm okay with it because I know his personality. You just got to know your friends and their personality and not get offended by who they are. Because I mean, you just got to know. If it's your friend, I mean, you should be used to it already to a certain extent.
Miss Olivia.
I'm that friend.
Which
I am
one?
that if you text me, it might be a whole month before you get a text. And I hope that my friends recognize that I don't text. You have to call me because I need my hands. Like I have to do things, and I can't. I'm not a texter. I might be. You might catch me, and I might text you back. But my text messages are very short. Like I love that I have an iPhone because I get to like a message, love a message. Like we were just talking about this. Like Martel was like, we were just saying, like, I agreed when you told me that you sent me an invite. The fact that I liked the message meant that I was coming. That's my RSVP. Like I am that friend. I'm not a texter. I am not we need to talk every single day. However, when my friends, so I have what and I take that language and I'm very careful with it. So like I call Wes is my friend. You know what I'm saying? There are certain people who will take space in my life and I will talk to you intimately and personally about what's going on in my life. And I will make space for you that if you need to call me and you need to just take up my time, I'm giving you that. That's what you've earned because you're my friend. Do we need to talk every single day? No.
Olivia, are you neighbor friendly? Are you friendly with your neighbors? Do you know their names? And would you dog sit for them?
I do, but that's not necessarily because I'm friendly. I'm nosy. I know who the drug dealers are. I know who the hookers are, the strippers. I know what everybody does. But I'm not doing it because I'm friendly. I'm doing it because I'm nosy. I need to protect my interest of what I have going on.
So you have a door like directly in front of your door, or like to the side directly in front of your door. Do you know those people over there?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know them, but then my Ring doorbell knows them.
Oh. So Ryan Marcus, you said you live in a house and you pay a mortgage. Do you know the other homeowners in your block or your street?
Hell no. I know of them. Like I kind of know the neighbor across the street. I know the owner because I see him all the time, and he's a gay man. And I just see all the people that come in and out of his house. Not that way. not that way though.
Okay. Okay.
But that's
right.
It's very important to know who's coming in and out. And
Right.
all of the, as a neighbor, I need to know your business because your business is my business, but because of the proximity of you to me. It's about me at the end of the day. And okay, I'm gonna be selfish about that. Like me knowing you and what's going on in your life protects me. Like if you going through it with your boo and your boo is a psychopath and your boo might come in here and like block, that. I need to know that. You know why I need to know that? Because stray bullets kill people.
Like I don't know his name. I don't know his name, but I can point him out at the grocery store if I seen him and need to talk to him about something.
That's all you need.
But like my neighbors, like actually next door to me, there's like they like this Indian or Arab family. I don't know none of them. I couldn't point them out if I seen them. Like I don't. Yeah, I don't never see them though. I might see them in my backyard when they're in their backyard barbecuing or something. But like other than that, I don't know my neighbors at all.
Shelly J says, no, I'm not neighbor friendly, but I know what's going on around me. Okay. Vic knows everybody up and through this whole entire neighborhood. He know their first, middle, last name, how many kids they got, the name of their dog, all that. Vic, go ahead.
So first and foremost, I love people, period. I love people's stories. I love people's journeys. I love hearing it. Secondly, I have a partner who loves having very large parties and, inviting a whole bunch of people over for culture clubs and auditions and all of that stuff. And I don't like anybody possibly snitching. So if I know that you have my number and maybe there's a car parked in front of your house, you're going to feel comfortable with coming to me and saying, hey, your guest car is parked in front of my house and I can't get out of my driveway. Because I've created that rapport with you, then you're going to come to me versus going to the cops. You know what I'm saying? And that's my personal opinion. Then on the flip side, if we have a large get together, like the birthday party, I invited almost all the neighbors. Now, do I think all the neighbors are going to come to two gay guys' birthday party? No, I don't think that. But you can't really, my mom and dad taught me this, and it's worked for forever. You can't really be too mad if you've been invited to something, and somebody blocks your driveway. You're already aware and been made known of it, so you're decently okay and cool. But on the flip side, it's all about making sure that if somebody breaks into our house because we have a decent rapport, they see something funny, like, okay, well, all of the cars aren't there, and this person is climbing through the window. Let me send Victor a text message and say, hey, Victor, somebody's walking out the door with Wes's computer. I'm pretty sure you guys need that. Was that scheduled?
Was that scheduled?
Olivia, we gonna switch gears real quick because E. Travis said, can you all talk about this topic? Little Boosie saying he got a grown woman to give his underage son head so he wouldn't be gay. Do you all want children? Do you think everyone should have children?
Can I chime in?
Who said that?
Me, Victor.
Okay.
So just because your son, Lil Boosie, just because your son got hit from a girl, that doesn't mean he ain't gonna be gay. And the fact that you set it all up means that you probably already know that there's some sugar in the tank. You just gotta go ahead and accept it for whenever he decides that he's gonna say, hey, Pops, this is what it is. Just because he could get it up for a girl and got head from a girl and you set it up, that's great. I hope you feel good for your due diligence and trying to make sure your son's not gay. If he still turns out to be gay, just know that it just is what it is.
It's rape.
Thank you. After the rape session.
It's rape. It's rape. He raped his kids by way of a older woman, prostitute, hooker, whoever. He raped his baby. It's rape. He molested, raped, whatever. Is no.
No, that's exactly.
There's no justification for it. He raped him.
Okay.
I don't want it to come across to seem like I'm like down for it, because I still personally think that the son should have been making his own decision, fly out 100%.
I think he was like 13.
Is
He's
he 13?
12 or 13. Rape.
He's a child.
Oh.
Rape.
So I like to play devil's advocate.
How old was the woman?
Grown.
Grown woman.
An adult.
I like to play devil's advocate, so I need clarification here, because when I was 12 or 13, I knew what the hell I wanted and I knew what I was doing. So was the woman forced? Was the woman forced?
Was it orchestrated? Was it orchestrated? So when you're 12 and you're 13, you do not have enough sense to act in a sexual manner, period. Whether it's with another 12-year-old, another 13-year-old, and absolutely not with a grown adult who has full capable understanding. You are still in a very naive space. I'm not saying that you can't make decisions, but when it comes to, your autonomy in that kind of way, you don't have the wherewithal. You're very naive to what's actually happening. Your brain hasn't fully developed, especially as a man or as a young man, young men's brains scientifically don't fully form until they get into their 20s. So what the hell do you think is happening when he's 12 and 13?
And then thinking the fact that this is your, it's one thing, me and my friends, we playing around, we found somebody about this kid, but this is my dad. So there's always that pressure that this is what my dad expects, by skip. So there's so many things that go into that aspect as well. So yeah, no matter how you put it, Boosie basically proctored a rape session for his son.
He raped his son by proxy. He raped his son by proxy. He paid another woman to rape his son. That's it. That's all. We ain't got to talk about this no more. I'm not giving him no more air. Next topic.
What happened, Benjamin? Benjamin, you was about to say something. What happened?
I was just saying, I think that's horrible, because what father does this? You know what I'm saying? It just
toxic masculinity.
It's sad. It's sad.
I think he's very troubled, and I think he's had a lot of homosexual activity with himself.
You think?
That he really hates himself. I don't know. It's horrible. I just never saw a proclaimed straight man act in that way so much. It's ridiculous.
Vigilantly.
How do you cope with death?
Can I go on?
That's a weird transition, friend.
It is, but on Culture Club, we just like this. I just like to spit stuff out, and it's so amazing, y'all. If y'all could see all y'all faces, I don't know if y'all got it on gallery or individual or speaker, but it's so amazing because I see all y'all faces just change when I said the topic. It was great. Yeah. So,
but give us context, friend. What you mean?
How do you cope? It's generally speaking, because death can come in any way, shape, or form. It could be the death of a pet. It could be the death of a friend. It could be the death of a family member. Just death in general. Everybody copes with death very differently. And I just had a YouTube buddy of mine by the name of Scorpion. He has a Scorpion show.
Oh, wow.
Kevin. His mom just passed away. And his mom was battling. His mom had to go to the hospital due to the coronavirus. Correct. And she just unfortunately never made it out of the hospital. And so
but it was prior to.
Yeah. But at the same time, even though he had been dealing with the concept of his mother being in the hospital for the reasons she was in the hospital, you know, I would, in my mind, I would be like, not to say that's prep time for the inevitable, but it's like your mind is already kind of thinking those types of thoughts, depending on the reason why the person is in a hospital. And so it's never easy. It's never easy, but how do y'all cope with death?
So I'm always prepared for this question. If you guys are down with me to respond to it, and in all honesty, you know, really and truthfully, first and foremost, you want to treat people the best you possibly can while they're living, because you never know when their last day is going to be. So if you're in the space so that you can love on somebody, however you can love on them, and you know that you love them the best way that you could for the time that you had with that individual, you can look back on that and smile when you think about the loss that you have. You can think about all the good that you experienced with that individual. And then on the flip side, when, you know, counselor, I was dealing with some grieving stuff. I lost a pet and a really close friend all in the same like 6 months, years and years and years ago. And she said, think about the positive interactions and think about the legacy that you want to follow on from that individual. What was something that you learned from that individual that's no longer with you, so that you can now take those characteristics or those attributes that are a part of that individual and or were a part of that individual, and now you can take it out into the rest of the world and influence the world based off of your coming in contact with that one person. So then that way, now every time you know, like I had one friend who was like omnipresent, like she was right there with you. If she was having a conversation, it's like we could be in a room full of 200 people and it's just you and her. So for me, I said, that's something that I want to take and I want to apply to every single conversation that I have as best as I possibly can. And every single time I do it, I think about her and I can smile. I can say, you know, this is something I took away from her, and it's not ending just because she's gone. Now I'm able to take it to thousands of people and have them experience the same thing that I experienced through her, passing on her legacy. So, and then you can't do anything but smile, you know what I'm saying? Although you miss them, but it's like, yeah, you know?
It's very tricky. I am of age. Okay, I've been on this earth for some time. And I never really experienced an actual funeral in my adult years up until very recently. A good friend of mine, Mr. Dale Dees, passed away. And when I tell you, I've never known a phenomenal person other than knowing, like outside of knowing Dale Dees. Like Dale Dees is like phenomenal on every scale. He's super positive, super encouraging, super everything, like super cheerleader for you and whatever you want to do and accomplish in life. He's that type of person. If you ever need anything, he's that type of person that will help you out. Need an advice, he will talk to you anything. And he recently passed. And so when I got the news, I was like I was with Benjamin. I was with Benjamin and Rico at a little party or whatever. And that's when I got the news, and I was like taken aback because here I am trying to have a pleasant time, and then I get this kind of destructive news. And then fast forward, I finally make it down to Orlando. Shout out to Shelly J, if Shelly J is still in here, my Orlando brethren. I ended up going to Orlando for the funeral. It was my first funeral as an adult. And so I didn't know how to handle it, what to do, whatever. You know, death is inevitable. Everybody's gonna die. We all know that. But it was just a shock that someone so pleasant, so great, so grand, so wonderful, just out of nowhere just passes away. And so it didn't dawn on me, like I didn't start boohoo crying until I was at the funeral. And they brought walked his casket past me. When I tell you, I was like one good old church, somebody up in there just boo-hooing, sobbing and crying. I was like, oh my God. But what made me mellow out about it was seeing the love that he had cultivated with everybody that he had touched. Like Everybody had the same positive things to say about this man. So you knew this man was genuine and authentic and just a great soul. And so being in the presence of other people that understood how beautiful he was made me calm down a little bit. And just realizing how positive he was as a person made me kind of woosah and calm down. So I don't know if that was kind of like my way to like handle it on that end, because luckily I haven't really experienced that many deaths of people that have like literally been that close to me. So I'm not gonna say I'm a master at it, but I have calmed my brain down to realize that death is inevitable and everyone's going to die. And so acknowledging that kind of like prepares me for it, kind of, but it's still kind of difficult. So I don't know if I have a remedy for it. Do you guys have a remedy for it? Are you guys like stone cold and heartless and like don't give a damn if people die? How does it work?
I am.
Martell, you said you are?
So I think I have lots of emotional like shielding. I think I'm very emotionally intelligent. Someone used that phrase earlier, so I like that. But no, I truly am. Like I feel like when I was 19, my grandmother passed away, and she like raised me. So that literally is like my mom died, and that was probably the only time I've ever experienced death in a sense where like that broke me, like that destroyed my life. And I don't remember ever like dealing with that properly. But then now I've obviously just grown up as an adult, just experiencing life. I know when people died now, I haven't yet had a death that's really just been like, my God, like nothing's hit me really since that. So I know for me, I'm very spiritual, very like religious. So I just lots of prayer, like, just for myself to kind of like pray for my own like peace and understanding of why this happened. Cause again, I feel like everybody has a reason, everyone has a time. So I just, personally pray for my own understanding of why this happened to that person. But mostly I spend a lot of time more so kind of helping other people to grieve. Like I spend a lot of time just kind of helping them kind of cope and kind of find their own emotional well-being within that situation. And I guess that's kind of how I just deal with it, like just vicariously through them, like, well, girl, we're gonna fix you and you're gonna be all right, and I'll just be all right with you.
Okay. Olivia, you have a very interesting face over there. What's going on through your brain cells?
Nothing.
No?
I think everyone grieves differently.
Yeah.
That everybody grieves differently. I'm thankful that I don't have too many references for I don't deal with passing easily. Hell, it took me damn near a whole year to get over my dog passing away. So I don't deal with I was destroyed, obviously too, because I was with her for 15 years.
Right.
So, and then, like she had lived in different countries with me. Like that was my road dog. Yeah. So that just took me. My grandmother passed, but outside of that, I don't know so many people who passed, and when my grandmother passed, that was a different kind of, again, it took me years. I'm still kind of not well with it because she was like the matriarch of my family. So I don't deal with death pretty well. Like I take years and years and years to kind of like get through and push through my pain. So
has there ever been a situation? Well, what do you guys do, Ryan and Ben? What do you do when someone comes to you and say, somebody that I know just passed away? Like, how do you guys comfort others? Or how do you attempt to comfort others? Or do you stay silent?
No, I'll say something. I'll definitely give them my condolences. I try not to make it too contrite because, every time somebody passed now, it's easy just to say sorry for your loss and keep it moving. And it's like, are you really sorry? You just put it out there because that's to be polite. So, I'll still say, if you need me for anything, because that's just how I am. And I hope that people come to me because usually whenever I say that, they'll be occupied with dealing with their grief and stuff like that. They never really take me on. But sometimes they do, and I'll be like, all right, well, I told you if you need anything, I got you. And maybe they just need somebody to talk to. So, yeah, I know. I do have a heart, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, it's like I don't care. I definitely do.
But I'm just going to say this, though. When it comes to certain people with grief, okay, I have to say it. There are certain people who use grief that I'm aware of, that I know in my life, for attention.
Yes, they do.
And
I
so
know them too. I know them too. Yes.
that is where I'm not judging you.
Okay, with the eye roll.
I'm not judging you purposely, intentionally. And those are the people I have difficulty with.
All right.
Okay, Ryan Marcus.
I try to console them. I'm really not good at doing all that. I don't be knowing what to say sometimes. I mean, I've had a few experiences of death. I've lost a couple people, but I haven't lost a lot. Most times somebody dies, it really doesn't affect me. Only a couple of times somebody has died in my life has been my stepmom, my uncle, Whitney Houston, and recently this promoter called Avery K here in Atlanta when he died.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What happened to Avery?
I don't know, but he passed away. I cried when he died a lot, and I was surprised, but I did a lot. I shed the tear, but death is just funny to me. How you can see somebody one week and just never see them again in your life, and just have to live with that. It's like no explanation. There's no time to say goodbye. It just is what it is. So that's how I see it. Like. You just see somebody one day and the next they're gone, and I just have to deal with it. It is what it is. I mean, you can treat it like you can see a stranger meet at the grocery store one day, and then you'll never see them again. You don't know what happened to them. You may not have no strong connection with them, but it's just like death. I mean, because you don't know what happened to them the rest of your life. But that's just how I see death. Like, because I mean, I've been to many funerals, a couple of my adult years, and just looking at that body in the coffin or whatever, I don't see it, so I don't have any feelings. It's just weird to me. Like that person is just gone. They're just gone. It's like, but I mean, I try to console my friends if they need consoling. Sometimes I don't know what to say. It just probably is more helpful to ask what they need, what they want, than just trying to go for it. I mean, sometimes people just want an ear to listen to them talk. They don't really want you to say anything, just want to show they're crying on, but it is what it is.
Benjamin, how important is perception to you?
Well, my perception of
how people perceive you.
You know what? When I was growing up, I was like the hugest dork ever. I still am, whatever. It is what it is.
Right.
But I used to think, oh my God, I gotta be like this for people to like me. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I will say that around the time I turned 21, I stopped caring as much about what people said, because when I was being more myself, I was meeting the right kind of people. So I would have to say that when it comes to perception, if somebody perceives me one way, they don't take the time to get to know me. I mean, it's cool. Back in the day, it would have been like, oh, why don't they want to know? Now it's like, all right, whatever. Shit, I'll meet somebody else and the energy will be good and I'll rock out with that person. So yeah, perception don't really mean nothing to me.
Okay.
As long as you perceive that I'm a good person, like anything else, I don't really care.
So I'm gonna dig a little deeper with that, because that it's a broad question. It's a general question. So I'm gonna go a little deeper. So right. You get an interview for a job that is one, like you have a passion in writing. So you get an interview for a writing gig or whatever the case may be. Are you gonna go to that interview dressed comfortably like you are now, or are you gonna put on your Sunday's best to give them a more professional perception of you, or a more, I guess, quality perception of you based on the way that you're dressed?
I want to go in there and give them what I need to get the check. So if that requires me having to put on something that I know, it's not about them perceiving me. Now I'm like, no, I know what you're looking for. I'm watching you as well. Let me just throw this shit on, be charming with you, and get the job.
Okay, so where's this question rooted in? Is there somebody who thinks opposite? Like, I'm confused.
You'll
Let me
be
ask you.
surprised.
Let me ask you. I'm gonna ask you the same question. Do you care about? So the first question was. So the first question was, how important is people's perception of you?
It depends on what we're doing. If I'm going after a bag, then how you perceive me is important. If we're not going after a bag, I don't give a damn. So like, and I'm grown enough that I don't give a damn. And I understand where like, and it works. I think it works universally. Like, think of it like Nicki Minaj. She is obsessed with how we think about her. Why? Because how we think about her is her bag. Yeah. Like, how hot she is means how many records she's gonna sell. So I mean, it works with everybody.
I'm gonna throw another scenario at you. Do you go out to the grocery store wearing anything that you want to wear, or do you go out always dialed up and looking your best?
Again, it depends on who, what, where, and when. If I'm in the grocery store and I know I'm in the middle of Hollywood, and at that moment I know that certain hot producers and or directors or whoever are gonna be in that or happen to frequent that place, and I'm after a certain role, I am going to dress like pretending like, I woke up like this. But
so perception, the way people perceive you is important.
It depends. It depends on whether or not it's the value that's set with it. It's what am I going to get out of this? If the value is I want to be comfortable and it's important for me to be less anxious and not live in anxiety and live within a very calm state, then I'm going to dress whatever my aura, my body, my mind, my spirit said I'm going to dress. But if I'm going to dress because I need to understand that the value of me being able to take care of myself and my family is at stake, then I'm going to dress the part. Okay. I don't imagine that any of these gentlemen are going to say anything different right now.
I don't know. You know, I'm always different than all of y'all. So
okay. So friend.
Get them together, Olivia.
If Tyler Perry frequents your grocery store and you've been trying to push your work and put it in front of Tyler Perry for whatever, or any big hot shot, you telling me that you wouldn't present slightly different? I'm not saying that you wouldn't.
When I'm telling you that, let me explain. Vic is always the one asking me, is that what you're gonna wear? Because he always wants me to go 5 levels above what I decided to put on. So to answer your question, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Difference. It's not your environment, and you actually do live not too far away from Tyler Perry Studios, so it is kind of important how you walk out that damn house. You live not too far from Tyler Perry Studios, so it's important. You never know who you're gonna bump into. You never know who you're gonna see. You never know what kind of lifestyle you're gonna be in because of somebody just randomly met you. I don't live in that life. Like,
so you care about how people perceive you. It's okay. It's all right.
We all
Martell.
Don't let me read you for filth on this gosh darn.
What you mean?
I will read you.
What you mean?
Honey, Mr. Fashionista, don't do me.
Me?
Yeah, boy.
Me?
There were a few times where you got overly dressed for a venue or for a situation when ain't nobody needed to get that dressed.
The only
don't let me pull your card.
You ain't got no cards to pull because I'm winning the hand. The only time that ever happened was when Vic inserted himself into the situation to have me change my clothes. That's the only time.
right now, and you don't care about how anybody perceives you because you with your man. But let me tell you, you are alive before Jesus Christ right now because
I'm not.
plenty.
Vic, is that your original outfit, Vic? For
Okay, you know what? Okay, all right, you know what? Okay.
Boom.
Let's keep
Boom.
But that's how you know. I'm saying no. I'm saying Wes, you real comfortable right now because you with your boo. Like y'all have established relationship, so you don't feel like I gotta do the most because I'm with my man. Like
Listen,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Because that's not how you was.
No, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this.
You was getting dressed up, boo.
I hate, if anybody knows me, I hate dressing up. I hate it with a passion. Because I think
I'm also saying that you wasn't dressing up, so don't lie. What about that one time when you got like 50,000 shirts from that one person who wanted you to wear all the different shirts?
But that's what I told you. I told you the reason why.
Different outfits.
Lord Jesus. The reason why I did that was to promote his clothing. That's why I did that.
And then you took pictures of yourself in all the different outfits.
Because I looked good. I looked good.
Who was you doing that for?
I looked good.
But who was you doing that for?
Martell, do you care about how people perceive you?
In two aspects. So as an artist and as an entertainer, I do. I know there's people who look to me, so I know I have to give a certain something. I know Martell Stars, Ratchet, Wow, whatever. I have to be there all the time. So I'm not always gonna be out here like, cause I can go to work and I can get cute. I can put a little suit on and everything, but that's not Martell Star. That's Martell Williams. So Martell Star very much cares about how I'm seen because I have a brand, I have an image that should be. Martell Williams on day-to-day, I'll go to the store and look a mess. I don't care. I can still pull niggas dressed like a bum. I can pull them dressed in my doiliest of fashions. So I mean, I give range, but I think
I give range.
Okay, there's aspects where I do care about what people perceive me as because again, their perception are my like we were talking about Nick. If these folks don't like me, they ain't gonna buy my music. They ain't gonna watch my shows. So I need y'all to I need to be likable. I need to be brandable. But me on a regular daily basis, if someone's like, "Oh, you look a mess," okay, your mama look a mess. I'm gonna go about my. Thank you.
Ryan Marcus, do you care how people perceive you?
Slightly, but only when it comes to my brand.
Doesn't that sound like the same answer I told you everybody was gonna give you?
Like for real, because people can perceive you a certain way, and when you're trying to brand yourself in a different way, it's sometimes hard for people to see that new brand or that alternative brand. So it just becomes complicated, and that's the only part. That's it.
Okay, Vic, we already know you care, so we don't need to dive.
Well, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Don't just wrap me all up like that. For me personally, Wes, you already know. There's been a whole bunch of times where I've left the house and you're like, "You wearing that out of the house?" Like, I'm just going to the gym, or I'm just going to Walmart. I'm just going here. Now, if there's a check behind it, okay, you've booked me at this specific amount. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. When I walk in the door, I'm working. When I walk in the door, I'm giving you everything that you're expecting to receive. I'm giving you that image. But if I'm going to Walmart to pick up some ground turkey to make some ground turkey tacos, then I don't really give a damn.
Yes, ground turkey tacos. You know
what I'm saying? Right? So I don't care, because at the end of the day is if to me, and the way that I kind of I operate, it's like, first and foremost, I'm gonna make sure that this right here is doing everything. I'll just put a wife beater on, some basketball shorts, and some tennis shoes, and look, you see Jim. Cool. That's my outfit. On the flip side, it's like if you can't see past that, and it's like, oh, well, he's just out relaxing and chilling, I don't need to do business with you anyway. Because if you look at any of the major celebrities, yeah, they might be wearing a complete and total Adidas jumpsuit down to the matching shoes. That's great. But to me, that's like you've put in too much effort to go to the grocery store. You need to have peace in your life, period, point blank. But at the end of the day, to me, in my personal opinion, you should absolutely always dress the part that you're going for. whether it's I'm going to the grocery store and I'm unbothered, but I'm just wanting to put on something nice to feel good about myself. That's the image that you should be reflecting. Or if it's I'm just running out to the grocery store to grab something and I really don't care what you guys think about what I look like, but on the same time, you know, hey, you see that I, you know, clearly go to the gym, or I clearly have these nice little pieces, or I put my earrings in, or I put on a hat and turned it backwards. You know, whatever you're deciding to give, whatever your vibe is in that moment, then that's what your vibe should be. And it should never be dictated by anybody else. Now, Wes said something earlier about, oh, you changed your outfit. Is that your original outfit? My thing is, I had a button down that was unbuttoned because I love my shirts being unbuttoned, but it was doing too much. And it's like, okay, well, I don't want to overdo it because you can be overdressed depending on what your situation is. So I said, okay, well, Wes has on a t-shirt. I'm gonna put on a t-shirt. If that's the vibe that's being given, then that's the vibe that I want to give. Yeah, I can go and do all this glitz and silly stuff, and then I'll just look silly. So if that makes sense.
Like I said, we gonna move on. Are y'all afraid to jog now? Are y'all afraid to go to church? Are y'all afraid to go to the grocery store? Are y'all afraid to drive your car? Are y'all afraid to take a piss? Are y'all afraid to live in this world? Are y'all afraid to go get your mail out your mailbox? What is it gonna take for us to do a regular thing in this world and not be afraid to get shot or killed or be shot and or killed? I'm talking about Mr. Ahmaud. If you guys don't know, he was murdered, and the headlines are murdered while jogging. Has there been any new developments that says otherwise?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
That's what it is. Like I've seen little things where there's been clips of like, it's like, oh, he broke into like an abandoned house. There were all these like different random aspects. I haven't seen anything that really justifies a murder yet. But there's definitely different things that they're bringing in to say, oh, these are factors.
So they're saying now that he broke into where? They're saying
he didn't break in. He was wanting to be an electrician, and so he went into a contractor site. Like, I'm sorry, I'm slightly going to be triggered, so I'm going to let y'all talk. Like, I'm exhausted by this conversation because this is a continuous conversation.
Well, if you got some facts and insight, it would be helpful.
No, this is just a death, a lynching by another name. That's all.
Exactly. A lynching is the exact word.
Okay. Ryan Marcus, do you feel affected as a Black man? Do you feel like you are safe in this world that you live in, or how do you feel? How do you feel as a Black man?
Because let's not forget about Breonna Taylor, just so that y'all know, because that just happened.
Just happened.
Wait, so enlighten me. What's going on now? What?
Breonna Taylor was in her own home, and they came in the lady home, and then they shot her.
You talking about the cop? Wasn't it the cop that came
in her home? So
right.
So you knock down my motherfucking door, and then you kill me. Like, this is the same lynching by another name. Like, I feel like there is no point in talking about this unless we are going to have some type of change. I feel like this we've talked about it enough. On Culture Club, we have exhausted all kind of lynching conversations. So on social media, I'm over it. Like, I am being triggered every time I look on the news, I look online. Like, I'm not new to this. I'm not new to this, and I'm over it.
Ryan Marcus?
My thing is that they try to find reasons to justify it, like he broke into this construction site. I mean, it's still no justify him being killed. He was 13 miles from his home. It's still no reason for him to be killed. They had been burglaries in the neighborhood. There's still no reason for him to actually have been killed. I mean, I'm not scared, but I mean, it's still not safe being a person of color in this world, especially this just happening right here in Georgia, not too far from here, just in Cobb County, Brunswick. And then it happened in February. It's May now, so it's taking 2 to 3 months for anything to happen, simply because, and then the people that did the actual killing were a cop and his son. So that's
Retired
like
police officers, no shade.
that's a slap on the hand. Like you did wrong, but we're gonna let you go because
you're white.
Right.
Because you're white. Be clear.
To protect you, you're a white man, and that is what this system was designed to do, was to protect
you. Benjamin, how do you feel like how do you sit as a Black man? How do you sit in this space with everything that's happened?
I mean, it just seems like the racism hasn't taken a holiday, and why would it during a worldwide pandemic? I'm tired of my brothers and sisters dying for no reason at all. And it doesn't help when the world is so depressed right now. Like, it doesn't make you feel good.
Right.
I don't feel safe at all. And does this mean I'm not going to live my life? No, fuck that. I'm going to live my life, but I'm not going to be stupid and foolish going out here fooling with these motherfuckers, because they are on some new shit right now. And it's always been there. It's not like racism just started. Racism has always been a part of this country. It's what the country was built
on.
So it's just and they got guns. Like they got this crazy mentality, and they got guns. And if you want to start some shit, bring a gun to the party with a crazy motherfucker. And
I saw this this video that had I want to say that they were marching or protesting.
Mm-hmm.
There were like a few of armed Black men, like armed to the tooth and nail, with MKs walking the street, and I can't recall what they were chanting, but they were chanting and walking down the street, for Ahmaud. And I don't know. I just, at the end of the day, we live in a crazy situation, in a crazy world, and the world is not designed for us. And I don't think it'll ever be designed for us or cater to us in our lifetime. But I did want to touch upon that because it is current, and I wanted to know how you guys thought and where you were with that. Switching gears. And we're almost done with this Live Culture Club. Thank you guys for all these comments. These comments are amazing. Travis said, don't forget Breonna Taylor. Yes, indeed. Olivia's at a boiling point. If it's for branding, Devontae says, if it's for branding the bag or really just trying to show my true intentions, then yes, I absolutely care. Other than that, nah. Olivia, exactly. You get so tired of talking about it. What's going to happen? We need to stop using the term people of color. That's a way that our issues go to the back while Hispanics get their issues to the front. No shade.
Whoa.
What?
No, them babies are still in cages during a pandemic. What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, no, I'm confused with that.
No, I'm saying, like, whoever said that comment, like, I'm not trying to be funny. Mexicans are Hispanics, and 90% of the people who are in the concentration camps, like I like to call them, the children, are still in cages being raped by the security officers attempting to watch them. They have been disconnected from their family for now over a year. They're Hispanic, and now they're having to deal with the COVID-19, and they are dying. So I'd like to say they're right with us. I want to see more Asian Americans because they can kind of more so appropriate to whiteness or get closer to whiteness than we do. So I want my Asian Americans to stand up, especially because you see how your own 45, this guy, is coming and check you. You need to stand with us too. I feel like all of the people of color, all of the people who are not white.
Exactly.
And my white brothers and sisters need to just stand up and be on the side of rightness right now. This is not a black color. This is not an any issue. This is a right and wrong. This is a humanity issue. And unfortunately, we are really seeing what humans are capable of, and it ain't no good shit right now. Can we change the topic?
We was changing the topic. We was changing the topic, then you brought it back up, sis. We was changing.
That you right.
Switching gears, who do y'all want to see, Martell? Who do you want to see in the verse battle? I didn't watch Erykah Badu and what you call it. I didn't watch that. It was kind of dry.
You didn't get your life.
That shit was awesome.
It was dry.
That shit was awesome.
It was
healing. You didn't get the healing.
No,
so,
yeah, because when I watched it, Erykah was looking into the camera like, do I really have to do this? And then Jill was like, oh my God, I love you. You're the queen. And I wrote this song and I sang it for you. And I was just like, what is this? I don't understand. Where's the verses happening? I don't get it.
Because there's so many different levels to it. So for me, like the very first one I saw was when The Dream went against Sean Garrett. Fire. Like, if y'all don't know me, I love
Fire.
Dream Nash. Love that man. Everything The Dream does is golden to me. So,
but that battle was fire?
I thought it was. I know I was in that battle going off for The Dream.
The best one, come on, don't lie, Martell. The best one outside of Jill and Erykah, the best one was Teddy Riley and Babyface, just because of the comedic, you got
but see, there's so many different levels to them. So, like when I think of the Teddy Riley and Babyface, like
that was hilarious.
The music was good. Music was good, but folks was really focusing like how many memes did I get off of that versus battle?
Yes. That's why I was
like, no shade, like the Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. Like I feel like that was real, like Black women sticking together. Like it wasn't no versus battle. It was like I'm gonna support you, queen.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
And so I think they all have levels and variations. Like I know, no shade, when Nelly and Ludacris go up, I can't wait to put my Air Force Ones on so I can go in for Nelly and Ludacris.
Right.
99, 2000s. And
who would you like to see go in a versus battle, Ryan?
The one done. Stop. Don't answer that question. Don't do it. Stop.
What's wrong, Olivia? What's wrong?
I'm just tired of all these. Like it's now being done to death. Like just stop. Like after the fifth one, we're over it. Let's do something original. And that's the reason why I like the Erykah Badu and the Jill Scott, because it was original. It wasn't really a versus battle. It was like, let's just put our work out there. Let's celebrate each other. Right. After that was the last one. And that was a nice, good bow that we should just leave verses alone. We did it now. Everybody did it. We good. Like any more, that is too much. Stop. I'm over it.
I haven't seen too many of them. I did watch a snippet of the Jill Scott and Erykah Badu. It was vibing, but I wish they would actually like sing or rap their actual songs, not just play them. That's what I thought verses would be more like of. That would be a lot more entertaining. I've seen a lot of suggestions of people who would like to see different verses. Maybe like Usher versus Chris Brown or Beyonce versus Rihanna, even though
y'all ain't gonna get Beyonce.
Never happen.
First of all, let me tell you something. That's because all of y'all who want to see more versus battles were the ones who weren't tuned into the original ones. Because by now you should be tired and bored. By now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if all the verses are gonna give what Erykah Badu and Jill Scott gave, I don't need it.
I don't want anybody.
I don't need it. It was whack. It was whack to me. I agree with Ryan. I feel like if you're gonna do a versus, they should be singing. That should be where the verse appeal should come from.
And it's gonna end up like Teddy Riley.
That's what Teddy Riley tried to do. It was a mess.
Right.
It should be live performances.
Right.
It shouldn't, because then they don't know how to work the internet. They don't know how they gotta go to different. They can't do this on IG Live. Like stop.
What I would like to really see more of, like Dawn Richard. She's basically doing like mini concerts. Like she's been like I that like
okay, yes.
She can't go out and promote, so she out here doing little concerts on IG Live and go ahead and dropping her little cash app, and folks out here cashing her out. No shade. Give me like 2 more weeks to get some stuff prepared. I'm gonna do a whole performance on IG Live.
And Chloe and Halle, I love how they're remixing and remaking, like they're doing a lot of hip hop songs, and then they are like doing it their own spin on it. That's cute. I like that. But these versus battles, like
I know John Legend did a whole concert on something a little while ago. That's really what's determining who's like these real artists and who's not, because if you can actually perform live on the internet with all these people watching you
and still doing just as well.
Yeah, people are saying that they want John Legend and Alicia off keys to do a versus. I don't understand.
Alicia off
No,
keys.
don't do it.
But it's true.
I'm tired of Alicia Keys for my
Thank
own.
you.
I'm tired of Alicia Keys.
Oh Lord, why?
Herself.
I've been tired of Alicia since she
Garbage.
climbed up pregnant
Ever
behind on
since
that piano.
Miss Beats, I got a problem with Alicia Keys.
Okay.
I do, because I'm glad that Mashonda forgave her. I didn't.
All right, and the last question before we get off of Culture Club is, how often do we take showers? How often do we take showers? Is shower taking important or not?
Yeah.
If you are sitting at your house in your nasty ass during a pandemic, is not deciding that you need to wash the bacteria off your ass. I mean, ain't you supposed to be washing your hands? So you don't think you gotta wash your booty too? The fuck?
No, that's it. Like,
It's some people out there that, you know, go 3-4 days without taking a shower.
3-4 days.
No.
There may be some days where I wake up like I know I ain't doing nothing. Like, okay, I'm gonna just chill today. But like that's literally like maybe a day. But I also know I just washed my behind last night. And I know I'm gonna wake up in the morning like so. I understand there's just those days like I ain't doing. I'm gonna just sit here and chill. But realistically, that should be at least a daily thing.
Olivia, I see you taking like 5 boo-boos in the day before you take a shower.
Let me tell you something. Because you will not read me. I have a bidet.
I have a bidet.
So I have a bidet. So every time I do a boo-boo, okay, my ass is nice and clean and refreshed. I don't do toilet paper, which is why I didn't have to worry about when everybody was doing this toilet paper scare. Didn't matter to me because I have a bidet, honey.
So is the bidet, is it like pressure, like a pressure, like
it is? It's like pressure washing your ass every time you go to the bathroom. And let you understand that it's also like a mild colonic, because it's shooting up so hard and so fast that you are clean.
So do you let it do a couple squirts before you get up?
I let it do a lot of squirts before I get up. What are you talking about? We sitting here for a session before I get up.
Oh God. Benjamin, how often do you take showers throughout the day?
Once throughout the day. I think once is enough because I don't go nowhere. So
okay. Ryan Marcus, you like to take showers or baths?
Showers. I ain't took a bath in so long, but once daily is enough for me. Y'all know that showering is really an American thing. I mean, they say it's hygiene, but I mean, it's just really an American thing to take showers daily. And I had an ex who took about 3 showers a day. I didn't understand that, but they did. But showering very frequently is only an American thing. You go to Europe, they don't do it as often as we do.
Who told you that? Who said that?
Different parts of Europe.
I lived in London for 3.5, damn near 4 years, and
that's a part of Europe. It's not all of Europe though. But I mean, you go to different parts of Europe, they don't take showers every day.
And that's why we should have a problem with the fact that they colonized half the world. Because in Africa, niggas was taking showers.
Really?
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Culture Club. I appreciate the comments. There's a lot of comments, a lot of great comments. Thank you. Bo B says, I think Girl on Fire blew Alicia Keys' voice out. Ooh.
I agree.
Roderick Fisher says, yay for the bidet. Devontae says, don't do Alicia like that. Yes, and Roderick said, and they stank. Okay. Missy versus Kim would be a great battle. Trina versus Kaya. Oh, that's horrible.
That's not gonna happen.
I want to see that. I want to see that. I'm making my popcorn right now.
But the only reason why I would want to see that is because Kaya by herself is entertaining.
Yeah.
Without the music, Kaya is entertaining. So that's different. That she's gonna give me something different.
I don't understand how someone that looks like her is able to talk any trash about anybody else. I mean, the derogatory things that she says about people with HIV and like getting raped and molested and like coochie smelling like whatever, like all that type of stuff. And like everything that she says, she looks like she's a byproduct of. So I don't understand how she's able to let any of that crazy stuff come out of her mouth. But I don't know. I want to see Trina and Kaya meet up. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see a verse battle. I just want to see them meet up.
So you just want to see two black women fight? No,
I want to see Kaya, people like Kaya, get done right. Just get done right. You can't have. I'm sorry. I'm not a cheerleader for violence, but you can't have that much mouth and not get popped in it 1, 2, 3, or 15 times.
So can I say something real quick? So I've met Kaya, I've smoked with Kaya, we've kicked it a couple of times. We've gone out of town and get all that. So I find Kaya to be a cool person. I'm gonna let y'all know right now. Kaya rocks with a gun, period, point blank. She flat out does. So anybody who thinks that they're gonna step to Kaya and pop her in the mouth, they're gonna get blasted first. And that's the one reason why Kaya has not been probably physically attacked. I can honestly say that the way that she operates is she's gonna match the same energy. And I'm not saying that it's good, but Kaya's one of those individuals that she's gonna match the same energy that you give her. I do think that she's definitely said some reckless ass shit, and the bitch knows how to bring in ratings, and she knows how to keep getting her YouTube check.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
She needs to take that YouTube check and fix her teeth. That's all she needs to do. That's all she needs to do. People like that are ugly in the inside and the outside. So I don't have any problems talking about her reflection that she sees every day. I just don't have no problems with it because people like that are very, 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 very nasty. And like some of the stuff that I see, but one thing about gay people, and I'm going off on a tangent real quick. But one thing about gay people is that gay people will sit there and hang out with straight people that talk trash about gay people just because they're a superstar or a star or a rock or whatever she claims to be. And I just don't understand that. I just don't understand that. It's people like that.
So to defend myself in regards to that, I was hanging out with her before the TS Madison. So before all TS Madison, all of that stuff happened, I was hanging out with her before that. In regards to going to the jungle, look, just keeping them 100, going to the jungle, going to a drag show, watching her throw $1,200 on the drag queen that was up performing, I'm like, okay, well, that's cool. We're sitting in the front row, we're kicking it. No energy in regards to that in any way, shape, or form. Now, the statements that were said, real shit, the statements that were said later on, I'm like, somebody really fucking pissed her the fuck off for her to go off.
So real quick before we go, real quick. This is a very good question. I just popped in my brain. Real quick, because this is important. Olivia, I want to ask you, if you have a friend, okay? If you have a friend that can easily slur derogatory terms about a group of individuals, do you consider that person to be anti that group? Because I feel like if you have the ability to spit out such, like for saying the N-word, or those black people are roaches, or she's so dark, or she needs to.
I have a problem with all of it. I don't care who you talking about. Unless you're talking about white people, no shade. I'm sorry. Like that's the one group that I probably wouldn't.
So would you challenge your friend? So if your friend was like, oh my God, I hate gay people, they get on my nerves, all of them are affected, all of them got STDs, blah, 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 blah. No, but I'm saying if your friend all of a sudden just flew off the rip like that, would you challenge your friend? Is the question. Okay.
I would challenge my friend like that because it's going to be, at the end of the day, we're not friends because, I want everybody to live and let live. And we have a a difference in our politics.
Do you think that I have the ability to hate on that group but still say I love that group? Because that's what a lot of straight people do. A lot of straight people say they love the gays, but in the second breath they can be like, gay this, gay that, F this, F word that, you know, this person got this disease, this person that, y'all need to go to hell. Oh, I love the gays. The gays are cool. I love the gays. The gays are so cool. Do you think that is at all possible? Anybody can chime in, and that'll be the last question.
So what about you know, just playing devil's advocate? Because I believe flat out, period, point blank, you love everybody, you accept everybody for who they are, you choose to hang out with the people who reflect your character, period, point blank. But what about the Black people who have all the negative comments to say about our fellow Black individual family members and friendships and people in the community who do things that we don't necessarily like, but yet at the same time, we still love our community, but on the same time period, we don't condone the individuals that are, we don't condone the individuals that are racist. We don't condone the individuals who are prejudiced against other individual races, no matter which race they might be. We don't have anything negative to say against those people. And we're okay with them talking about other races who maybe we have coolness with, but we're cool with them being racist towards those people. But anytime somebody else on the flip side is racist towards, oh, I don't know, us, then it's like, oh, okay, well, it's not okay for them to say that. I'm not saying that it's okay for anybody to say anything racist towards anybody, period. We should all be operating with the energy of every last one of us is trying to succeed. Every last one of us is trying to progress forward. If depending on what your level of intellect, your level of love towards a different individual, you should be.
So you're saying that Black people give Black people passes is what you're saying?
I'm not saying Black people give Black people passes. I'm saying we're saying, like, you know, I know an individual said Black people kill grass. She owns a whole bunch of property. Said Black people kill grass. Or I know loves fucking this, that, and the other. I know different individuals who are prejudiced towards their own race specifically, and whether it's white, Black, this, that, and the other. And I know across the board. Huh?
Got a problem with those people too. I have a problem with Black elitists, people who are like, oh, you didn't go to Harvard and you didn't go to Yale, and that's the reason why you got shot by the cops. Like, you know, what kind of like Black people who sit there and try to find a reason of why a Black person got killed, you know, senselessly. Oh, well, he looked like a thug. Oh, well, he was wearing a hoodie. Oh, well, she was mouthing off. Oh, well, I got a problem with all those people. Like,
if you are the type of person, and speaking for straight people, if you are a straight person that says that you are a gay ally, but when you are with your straight friends, you condemn the gays or don't challenge the people that are around you that condemn the gays, then you are not a gay ally. And that goes across the board. For me, that goes across the board.
I agree with that.
Shapes and forms. Like, yeah. So it's like that. It's just not cool. And so, like, for example, if I just don't see how we cater to that kind of hatred that's spewing out of someone so easily.
Can I interject for 1 second? Have any and every last one of you, and I believe that most people in some way, shape, or form here identify with the LGBT community. If you've never called anybody a faggot or a this or that or the other, then you have absolutely no stone to throw.
I've never called anyone a faggot ever in life.
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100. I absolutely have.
But at the same, hold on 1 second now, because faggots do exist.
Absolutely, they do.
They do.
So if somebody's having a conversation about somebody who is a specific faggot, let's keep it 100. I don't identify as that, nor would I accept that term to be applied to me. But if somebody, as far as what the characteristics of what that word means, if somebody calls that person that word, are they a horrible person for leave it? Are they a horrible person for calling that person that?
I mean, it's out of context. If you have a Kaya, no shade. I'm understanding what Wes is saying. You have a Kaya who she's like sissy ass, pussy ass, faggot ass, like that is part of her vernacular. she's not having an isolated incident where she is saying this person is acting in this characteristic.
Right.
She is blatantly saying pussy ass, faggot ass, sissy ass.
Right.
You're talking about a community.
So it's very
Right.
like it's
Right.
not nuanced in
Right.
this conversation. And
Right.
so yeah, Kaya would not be my homegirl. Kaya would not be my friend. I actually don't go to her YouTube channel often because I'm not trying to put money in her pocket for that bullshit. But you know, we were talking about whether or not, and I don't want to see another versus battle, but would Kaya versus Trina be entertaining? Yes, it would, because she's entertaining.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
does the
Okay. All right. So don't be mad if I beat you at spades tomorrow. I'm just
Who?
saying,
Who you talking
whoever's coming, whoever I go against.
Who you talking to?
Martell don't never come to nothing I invite him to, so he won't be there.
You know, I'm not going anywhere amidst this pandemic. Like legit, like I'm not scared of the police. Oh, but what I am scared of is COVID-19.
Yeah.
Baby, you covered by the blood. Don't worry about it. Come on through.
I'm covered by the blood, but the blood telling me to stay at home.
Everything is sanitized over here. Everybody,
I believe it, and everything's sanitized over here. It's that space in between.
we'll have the thermometers ready. We'll have the thermometers ready.
Well, listen, I appreciate y'all coming on. I want y'all to enjoy the rest of y'all night. We talked about some great things. Thank you guys for watching YouTube Live. And thank you guys